This video is going to be brought to you by G Fuel, and I'm extremely excited to tell you guys that G Fuel has now gone Sage Mode for the first time ever with the first G Fuel Naruto Sage Mode hydration tub, the very first Naruto flavor in the hydration line. You guys know that I've said in the past that I'll drink G Fuel for a quick boost of energy to get the morning started when I'm working on content, but what makes the hydration line different is the Naruto Sage Mode tub has 0 caffeine, 0 sugar, and 0 calories, but it's packed with all those important vitamins and electrolytes, and most importantly, it tastes amazing. Up until now, the only things I've tried from G Fuel have been their energy drinks and their protein puffs, but after trying the hydration tub, I strongly recommend it to you guys because it has that grapefruit white peach flavor that slaps as hard as Daemon stomped out code. Use my link down in the description box and the pinned comment to get yours today, and use my discount code KAGE for your discount. Again, go to gfuel.com or use my affiliate link and use my promo code KAGE in order to get your discount. Thank you again to G Fuel for partnering with me on today's video. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto 2 Blue Vortex discussion. Today, I think we need to talk about a major elephant in the room that I have avoided discussing ever since we got the confirmation that Sasuke is now a tree and that he has a Shinjuu clone named Hidari that is actively targeting his daughter Sarada, which is the future for Sarada Uchiha in terms of the evolution of her Dojutsu powers, because from the moment she joined, what Sasuke tells us in Naruto Part 1 is a selected number of the Uchiha who awakened the Kekkei Genkai of the clan, the basic Sharingan eye. The questions began as far back as 2015. What would happen when she finally awakened her mangekyou Sharingan? And Naruto series creator Masashi Kishimoto took a can of gasoline and poured it on fire in 2016 via one of the last pieces of Boruto related art that he ever drew by having Sarada's mangekyou Sharingan revealed, shown to us in that artwork to promote Boruto's manga, which 7 years later we would actually see her awakening in the continuity of the series itself. So now that the mangekyou Sharingan is here, the next question on everyone's mind after what her powers are going to be is what will happen when she inevitably loses the light of those mangekyou Sharingan eyes. It's a fair question, and in today's video I want to bring up a possibility that I personally am dreading, which is Sarada potentially getting upgraded eyes via Hidari, the evolved Shinjuu created from Sasuke's chakra. Sarada losing her eyesight is a real possibility, even if she isn't some raging idiot like Sasuke was and burns out her mangekyou Sharingan in under a month of awakening it, and she's careful like Itachi and Shisui and doesn't spam the mangekyou and uses it as a last resort. The problem is that at some point her eyes will lose their light, and when that happens she's pretty much useless. For the longest time the belief was that she could go the route of the Byakugo seal to restore her eyesight by using either Creation Rebirth or 100 healings to repair the cells in the eyes, but then you run into the problem of that's the pinnacle of chakra control, and Sarada has shown that while she does have good chakra control, it's not on the elite level that would be required to master something such as this, which does get downplayed because you have people who downplay Sakura's chakra control in Part 1, even though we're literally told in the manga more than once in Part 1 that when it came to chakra control, Sakura was a prodigy. That route, it was never viable in my opinion. It's fun water cooler talk, but not necessarily the most likely outcome, but it's one that again offered fun water cooler talk discussion. However, it was more realistic than anyone saying that she walk up to Sasuke when he's trapped in that tree and she pluck out his remaining eyeball and say, "Hey Papa, you don't need this anymore, so I'll be taking this eye," and transplant her EMS into her eye. That brings us to the creation of Hidari specifically, and him targeting Sarada. Hidari was made from Sasuke's chakra and has access to his powers. Just as the Matsuri clone we saw had access to Moegi's jutsu, Hidari was also using the Chidori. He's got the rinnegan eye like the other Shinjuu, but because he also has chakra as Sasuke, there exists the possibility of him having Sasuke's eternal mangekyou Sharingan in the other eye, which hasn't been revealed to us yet. The entire side of his face has been covered up. It does feel as if Sarada and Hidari, they're on a collision course set by destiny to clash at some point in the story, and Hidari's character has already shown us that he's showing signs of breaking away from the other Shinjuu in what is actually their express purpose. Hidari was openly questioning the reason behind their existence and wasn't blindly following Jura, who took one look at that change in Hidari and immediately began to start raising his eyebrows. As we discussed in the video going over Hidari's potential betrayal of the other Shinjuu, the premise was founded on the concept that chakra has been shown as far back as Naruto's manga to contain memories, and the idea of a being who has Sasuke's chakra and has a desire to consume Sarada ends up awakening some of Sasuke's memories that are inside of that chakra. It was a possibility. So if you stick to that, could you have a scenario where Sarada battles Hidari and defeats him, and she ends up getting his eyes as a result, potentially with him even offering them up? I personally would not be a fan of that, but I don't think you can rule out that possibility because it's an easy backdoor way to power Sarada up. Hidari is made from Sasuke's chakra. If that other eye hidden beneath the cloak covering the other side of his face ends up being a sharingan, that would fit the requirement of the eternal mangekyou sharingan, which is gained by transplanting the mangekyou of another close relative, which he would fit since he was made from the chakra of her father. That chakra at the end of the day is what's most important, because as we saw when Sasuke transplanted Itachi's eyes into him, the first thing we get told is that Sasuke could feel Itachi's chakra merging with his own chakra as the eternal mangekyou was forming. It's a layup from that perspective, and it manages to keep a legacy character in Sasuke protected in a way that doesn't degrade the character. Sasuke keeps his remaining good eye and doesn't walk around blind, and Sarada gets the amp from implanting a potential sharingan from Hidari and the rinnegan in the other eye, making her a mirror of her father. Again, to restate this, I'm not a big fan of this idea, but I don't think we can rule this out either, and her getting her hands on the rinnegan from an evolved Shinjuu made from Sasuke's chakra would come with the power boost that she's been looking for, which is to get powerful enough to fight against Sasuke. You do have the question of, can her body handle the massive chakra that comes from even having the rinnegan, because as we were told in Naruto's manga, the chakra of the rinnegan can overwhelm a person, but if her body can theoretically handle it, that's a clear and direct path to get her to the goal that you can actually get to. It would be far from the biggest ass pull that we've had in this series, and Naruto's had a lot of ass pulls. No different than Hagoromo giving Naruto's 6-pass Sage Mode, no different than Obito helping Naruto get 6-pass power, which is different from 6-pass Sage Mode, by sealing the chakra of the 1 in the 8 tails into Naruto so he meets the requirements to use 6-pass power. Or the 4th data book saying that Hagoromo gave Sasuke the rinnegan so he didn't have to wait decades to awaken like Madara did when he mixed in the chakra with Hashirama's DNA, which in Sasuke's case would have been Sasuke possessing Indra's chakra and him getting Ashura's chakra via the enhanced Hashirama cells that Kabuto pumped in his body to save his life after Madara stabbed Sasuke. So there shouldn't be any issue with that in terms of narrative, since it would be the same thing in concept. However, the reason I'm not a big fan of this is pretty straightforward. On one hand, I get it, it's a necessary evil, but I kind of feel like it would cheapen Sarada a bit by it being a recycle of what we've already seen, which it can't be helped at the end of the day. You're in a pre-established story with the laws of the universe already set, and the story itself for hundreds of chapters, it has made it a point to reuse stuff from the past and just put a small twist on what we've already seen from the past, so it's not a one-to-one complete rip from the prior usage. Very similar to what George Lucas does in Star Wars, where episode 1 and episode 4 they end up rhyming. There's just small differences to make it fresh. Episode 2 and episode 5, episode 3 and episode 6, etc, etc. I just personally feel like this would be grabbing the low-hanging fruit, but it would avoid causing other issues like snatching Sasuke's other eye, or Sarada going from decent chakra control to somehow off-screen getting super advanced chakra control needed to pull off something like a Byakugo seal, which is the pinnacle of chakra control itself, something that, it should be noted, not even Shizune, someone we're told is a prodigy with medical ninjutsu and chakra control, she wasn't even able to master the training for it. This would allow you to sidestep the issues that would come from that, given both of those have problems in of themselves, and given that Hidari does appear poised to actually pull a heel to babyface turn by eventually breaking free from Jura and the other Shinjuu. The seeds are all there for this to potentially happen. I'm just conflicted as someone who is a fan of Sarada's character. Maybe if this comes as the result of her defeating Hidari in battle alone without Boruto aiding her in anything other than an assist role, it could be something I'd be able to swallow and get behind, particularly since it would play on the whole theme of chakra connects people, and Sarada, Sasuke, and Sakura all being connected by something deeper than just blood, as we were told in Naruto Gaiden, the 7th Hokage and the Scarlet Spring, albeit that was a reference to them being her parents, but we've seen reaches of crazier stuff than this. I kind of feel like this is something inevitable in terms of expecting it to happen, but I'm not a big fan of it if it does happen personally. That might be an unpopular opinion, but that's why I stand on it. I don't like it. It would be super disingenuous for me to come on here and hype this up like, oh my god, this would be so amazing if this happened, etc. I'm not gonna hype you on something that I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of, though I can acknowledge the possibility of it happening. I just think it's a bad idea if we go down that route. However, that's why I do want to kick this over to you guys and ask the question of, do you think Hidari was created with the intention of powering Sarada up later on down the line? And if this is the case, say this does happen, would you be okay with this type of method, or does Hidari existing merely as a means for Sarada to battle and show her strength and somehow have her be the one that defeats Hidari and saves Sasuke from being turned into a tree? Does that serve as a more effective method of Hidari being created as a character and serving his purpose? While you think that over, click here to watch this Naruto Explained video you see on the screen.